So I'd like to introduce our staff with the club. So firstly, myself. My name's Adam Miller. I'm the Director of Soccer. I oversee all the programs within the club, but I have a concentration more on the community side. That means the minis, the C teams and the B teams. I came to Canada from England in 2010, played at St Mary's University, and actually was my assistant coach back then. And I also played with Zach back then as well. I have my National B coaching license, and I also work with the men's program at SMU and the women's program at Acadia. Next up, I'd like to introduce our performance TD, Mr. Mert. So he oversees all the A, AA and AAA programs from U13 up to U18 now. Former professional soccer player. If anyone has the pleasure of seeing him play, they would know how great Mezzi is. He really is a step above everybody else. He's also his National B license as well. We have quite a depth in our staff here. Previously ran a similar program with the suburban region before moving over with us this time last year. And he's actually the head coach of the St Mary's men's team now. The last technical staff to introduce you to is Zach Bold. He oversees our skill centre programs. That's all U7 up to U11. He came from Dartmouth United where he spent 7 years, so lots of experience with him. He also has his National B coaching licence, and he works with me underneath Masut with the SMU men's team as well. He's also been involved with Nova Scotia provincial programmes pretty much his entire life, up to the current day where he still coaches. The last person to introduce is Deborah Mert. She's our new office manager. She's been excellent. Anything to do with registration, money, gear, stuff like that, she's the person to go to. She's been working with us now since November 2018, and she was a little bit sad she didn't have her National B, so she's managed to put up there that she has her driving licence. So before we get into the main part of the presentation here, just as always, we'd like to go over our vision, mission, values and our philosophies. These are all available on our website if you ever want to check in on them. So basically, every time we make a change or try and make a big decision within the club, we always try and go back to here, just to make sure that what we're trying to change or whatever decision we were making is based in the right areas, like making it better for the players and for our members. So having said that, we got them up here. So our vision, very simply, is just to become the best soccer club in the country, or even the best we can possibly be. And that means, being able to give an environment where players are able to enjoy themselves and develop. Along those same lines, our mission is to promote and grow the sport of soccer in our communities. So along the same sort of idea again, but keeping that community spirit and making sure that people feel like they're part of something. We've got our values over here, so some key words that we're always looking to try and make sure are involved. Accountability, communication, community, excellence, open, accessible and inclusive, participation, player-centered, positive, quality, respect and sportsmanship. Into our philosophy, for as many as possible, for as long as possible, in the best environment possible. That's a phrase you've probably heard a lot in the last year or so. That just means making sure that we have all our players playing for the rest of their lives in the best environment for themselves. So another 5 phrases here that we try and base our decisions on again. We're a club which gives every player the best experience and opportunity to play. A club where players are excited to go to soccer. A club where every player feels comfortable and equal. A club where every player is given the opportunity to reach their potential. And a club where all coaches and volunteers feel supported and valued as well. So again, just big decisions, we always come back to here. Does it fit in? Does it work? If the answer is yes, then yes, maybe it's something we keep on investigating. If the answer is no, then maybe it's something that's not going to work. Video presentation. So this year we're going a little bit of a different direction with our parent meetings. To try and save some time and also trying to reach more people. We decided to move our parent meetings to online. Obviously, the pros being now that we can reach more of you, you can watch it in the comfort of your own home. You're not needed to come meet us at an event on a certain night when you may or may not be available. But also the cons being maybe it's not as interactive. So as we go through the presentation, if you do have questions, we have an answer for that the issues with potentially having that back and forth at the end. So please enjoy this, and from here I'll pass it on to the leaders of your programs.
Hello, my name is Masoud Mert, and today I will be presenting you with some information regarding the summer programs. I am the Performance Technical Director at UDFC, and in this presentation we'll basically cover what the expectations are from the parents, club, coaches, and give you some information that are new, especially with the changes we have gone in the last year or so. And now we'll just talk about our list of coaches for the summer. With our U12 Whitecaps program, on the girls' side we have Peter Lee and Chris Harrison as the coaches. On the boys' side, Jamie Leck and Henry Jackson. On the 13 AA program, on the girls' side, Katie Acoyne, along with Katie Heckman and Lauren Windsor. On the boys' side, we have Trevor Hall and Sandy Matharo. 15 AA coaches. On the girls' side, Mark Harnish, along with Stephen Dance, John McPherson. On the boys, Wallace Murphy with Mark Sear. And on the girls' side, we have Jeff O'Coin, Emily Poirier, Sophie Langio. On the boys, Craig Sears and Peter Lee as the assistant. On the 17 side, on the girls, head coach Fernanda Lucas, Megan Earl as the assistant. On the boys would be myself, all by myself. Here's a picture of the program for the summer at 12 Whitecaps, 13 AA, 15 AA, 15, 17 AAA. Obviously, as most of you know, or all of you know, the schedule is out from now until May 31st. The 2 practices a week, 1 strength and conditioning practice, 360 per week. Entry into the NSSL, entry into the NS Cup for 15 AA, 15 AAA, and 17 AAA. We'll get on this, talk about this a little bit later. We are planning on entering our U15 AA teams into that competition this year. And this is our practice schedule. 2 practices per week, as well as the schedule starting Monday, April 15th and running to May 31st. And then the second part of the schedule will come out mid-May, which will include from June 3rd until September 27th. And just a little bit on the feedback forms here. You've majority of you have been have seen this process. We will continue with the feedback forms for the summer as well. Of course, with feedback from our members and players, there will be some tweaks, minor changes to clarify the form and evaluation and the feedback for the players. There will be one at the end of July and at the end of September. Any questions on these as well, don't hesitate to contact me, and again, I will do my best to clarify. All the games are scheduled and played through the NSSL. We have no control of how we make the schedules. They are given to us and we try and follow it as the best as we can. There's the contact information for the league, and as you can see, here's all the information on the league. 90-minute games long, offside at the halfway line, 11v11 on a full pitch. It is important to note the number of subs per half or the whole game. 6 subs within the game, but unlimited at half. So that means I only have 6 subs during play, first and second half. Coaches are allowed to make unlimited subs at halftime. This is important to understand during games, because it does determine how we manage the roster during games. Here's a few pieces of information for the 13 AA. It's no different than last year. Note the retreat line, still half 1/3 of the pitch. Some information on the U12 Whitecaps. One piece of information to note there is at the bottom. There will be 2 tournaments, one in midsummer and one in September, and these are being used as ID weekends, where NSSL will be present to ID players for their provincial programs. The Cup, this is something that is new this year. This is where the winner of the Cup represents the province at CSA Nationals. The format undecided and will be created by SNS depending on the number of teams entered, so we will get more information on that from the league. As mentioned earlier, we are planning on, as a club, putting our 15 AA teams in the Cup. That means they will end up playing AAA teams and potentially other AA teams if other clubs decide to enter this Cup competition. It is important to note the winner of this Cup, as mentioned earlier, does represent the province at nationals. So there's no more league winner goes to nationals, no more provincials, and at the end of the year, the winner of the league, whoever comes first in the league, will play a game against the winner of the Cup at the Wanderers ground. There's nothing else on the line for this last game between the winners. It's just an extra game for the promotion of. So now we'll talk about playing time with their teams at the performance level. As you can see on the screen, we will be implementing the 40% playing time. This is to ensure that every player that has been selected on a team at the performance level gets fair playing time. This will ensure development, enjoyment for the players. This 40% playing time will be implemented at all competitions, including the new Cup, the provincial, league, and tournaments as well. For those players that are committed, are working hard, and deserve to play more minutes in games, will be rewarded for that. Coaches will not be sitting on the bench with timer on their hands. There will be times where this would be 3 or 4 minutes and below time or above time. We want our coaches to be focusing on what's happening on the field and how to help the players rather than focusing on the time for each player. Any questions in regards to the playing time we're trying to implement for players? Please don't hesitate to contact me. I will do my best to clarify this process with you. Our expectations of the players are very simple. We want our players to be committed, come to every practice, be present at every game, and if those situations, if there is situations where players cannot attend games or practices to communicate with the coaching staff, that is important for players to understand and get in the habit of communicating, because players do plan for a certain number of players for games and practices, and if players don't communicate, then that changes the session plan slightly, and it leaves the coaches scrambling last minute. No bullying or abusive to other players, including opposition referees, parents, coaches, and your teammates. We at UDFC we value what kind of a person you will become through this experience of playing sports with this club. Anything that any player that sees any of these mentioned should report to the club. Every single one of our coaches and staff go through courses to be better educated in helping these players on the field. Be respectful to the coaches, parents, other coaches, the referees, and overall the game itself. Represent the club in a positive manner on the field, on and off the field. A lot of players like to wear club brand, and when we're away from the game, and if we don't represent ourselves within a proper manner, it does make a difference in how we represent ourselves. Expectations of the parents, communication. There is no right or wrong way of coaching out on the field. There is coaches who like to be loud, and there is coaches like to be quiet and sometimes don't even say a word. That doesn't mean that they are not interested. That doesn't mean they're not engaged. That doesn't mean they are not knowledgeable of what is happening out there. Some coaches will sit back and watch and let their training influence take over in games, and there will be some coaches who like to be engaged and stay engaged with their players and in the field and be involved as the game is being played out. From the club side, this is what you as members can expect from us. A safe, comfortable environment where players can come and join their experience as a player. Qualified coaches who will motivate, encourage players. Coaches will be instructed and are willing to be positive with players and instruct them with the necessary information. Ways you can reach us here at the club. Any concerns, any questions, any clarification you might have regarding or any clarification you might be looking for regarding anything to do with the program, or any opinions or any feedback that we can use to help improve and grow. Here's a few ways you can reach us. Mr. Merrick, myself, TV Mr. at udfc.ca, Adam Miller, DOS at udfc.ca, and the final step would be Rob Gillis, our president at the club, president at udfc.ca. So please follow these steps to try and resolve an issue or concern. We do want to be able to help you out, or I would like to be able to help you out first. If this is your first contact, if we cannot resolve that problem, then Adam will be your next step of contact. And if that doesn't work out, then President would be the final step to resolve an issue.
Thank you for listening to the presentation. So what's going to happen from here? Obviously not being able to have a sort of back and forth with you guys in your room. So rather than that, this time if you have a question, please send it to one of the 4 emails here. Any one of the 4 will work. What we will likely do, if you feel like your question is something that's been asked by many other people, we will answer that question and we'll not only respond to your email, but below this video on this page we'll also have a frequently asked questions, and hopefully that will be able to give the information to everyone else back as well. So if you do have a question, please feel free to email it to us. You're likely not the only person, because we like to get as much information out to our members as possible. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys on the field.